Hello everyone, it is the 28th of February. Just gonna do a little update here. So we have, this is wrapped with pine now. I'm gonna stain this tomorrow to match the I-beam. Also, the butcher's block is in place and cut. I need to sand it and then put the first coat of oil on there, but it is in place. We also have the electric up here and the Cat 6 cable. I terminated that. But all this stuff is pretty much unchanged. Nothing really new to report, I guess. That's kind of the major stuff. The solar guys were here today, and I'll cut to that now if I remember. But they did the inspection with the state today, and they're all done with that aspect of it. The only thing I have really to rant about for a second is that my contractor was going to have plumbers come out last week and electricians last week. They pushed it back to this week, and the electricians confirmed they can come out this Friday, and the plumbers have not given a time yet. So, on the 11th, I have a friend driving down from Toronto with his wife and kids. He was going to stay with me, and back in December, I told him that he could come down in March. And now that date is less than 2 weeks away, and I told my contractor, you know, what's the deal? Are we going to get a commitment from you to be done next Friday the 10th? He said, I can't commit because the plumbers haven't scheduled a date yet. And I finally, well, if I remember, once again, I'll put the email here I sent him. It was probably the first stern email I've ever sent him. But as you guys remember watching these videos in the very beginning, we closed in October. They were supposed to start demoing October. They started December 6th instead of October 7th. They didn't get the building permit until the end of November. And then we had delays from them doing snow removal. We had delays from them getting pulled to other projects. We had delays in the drywall getting hung. Delays because of things happened with the building that we had to work on and had to do ourselves. They were unexpected. Then now we have delays with the cabinetry going in, and then we had delays now with plumbers and electrics. So I've actually lost a full 5 weeks off of the two-month estimate they had originally given me. So they started late, they added 5 weeks of delays, and here we are. So instead of me moving in before Christmas, it got pushed back to February 1st. Now it's getting pushed back to like the second week of March at the earliest. And he won't even commit to me that we can definitely move in on the 10th. Because once the plumbers come, this town still has to come and actually give an occupancy approval. And if he flags anything, then he has to come back the following week, which is the time my friend was going to be here, was that Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I told my friend what's going on. He says he can't change his plans, which I don't know what to tell him. I feel horrible, but I'm completely flabbergasted at the whole situation. I sent a really angry email to my contractor who basically told me, I don't know what to tell you. I'm making everyone move as fast as I can. Well, you know, honestly, Matt, if you had scheduled the plumbers weeks ago, whenever I asked you weeks ago, if you had scheduled electricians weeks ago, if you had the drywall people get here on time, if you had put your whole crew on this house as opposed to taking everyone off to another location and putting one guy to do the cabinets and the floors for 2 weeks, we would be done by now. And now I get, at the very earliest, I'll get certification to sleep here next Friday the 10th. And I'll have to unpack all of my shit by Saturday night when my friend gets here with his kids. It means a TV, a couch, the beds will need to be set up, the kitchen will need to be unpacked. All that will need to be ready for them in one day. So I'm just pissed off. I really am. And it was all avoidable. My mom was supposed to come out February 20th for her President's Day and help me finish the basement. I had to tell her on February 10th, she was gonna come up and sleep here. That was the plan. I told her in December to come up here, help me finish the basement. The plan was by February 20th, she'd be able to sleep here. We are, you know, March 1st, and I can't even sleep here yet. So she was obviously, that plan was all fucked. Having the guy come up the second week of March, which in December seemed like a completely reasonable thing. But it didn't happen that way. So as you can see, that's the 28th. There's still a bunch of stuff on site. We have no running water. no indoor plumbing, no electricity except for this one plug that works. I was reading the occupancy certificate thing yesterday on a PDF, and I noticed that it requires a handrail for stairs. I mentioned that to the foreman who's running the project, and I said, "Are we gonna get a handrail?" And he goes, "If you want one." I said, "Well, it's on the occupancy requirement that there's a handrail on the stairs." He goes, "Oh, well, I'll put one together for you." What the fuck? How many houses have you guys built where a handrail wasn't even a part of this thing since the very beginning? I don't get it. And all they can do is tell me that they got this house that they've been working on a town over because it's a $50,000 kitchen renovation. Well, I'm sorry that my cabinets were only $6,000 and my granite countertop was only $2,500 and my floors were bamboo. You know, I'm sorry that my house is really low cost for you guys, but I've now got family and friends that are coming to see me for the spring who I'm telling don't come because this is my house right now. And the mortgage payment is due again next week or tomorrow. It's due tomorrow. It's auto pay, but you know, another mortgage payment's out the door and I'm still not living here. Oh, and I got a $200 bill today from Suburban for the propane. So, got to pay Suburban. So that's my rant. Happy March 1st, everyone. I'm trying my best to deal with this. Every time he tells me to grab something, he told me to get cabinet pulls. We did that. He told me I need to get towel holders and coat rack holders and pulls for this folding doors and interior doorknobs. And they told me to go get granite. They told me to go get a butcher block, and they told me to paint trim for them and paint the ceilings and paint the walls. I was looking at my microblog, which is it's like a personal Twitter, a self-hosted Twitter that I run because I hate putting my data on other people's websites other than YouTube because I have no choice. But anyway, back to the Twitter thing. I have my little short updates on my microblog, and it's just stuff for me to look back on and think, oh, that was fun and that's funny. It's not full blog posts, just short ones. And 16 days ago, I finished painting, and I had to finish painting because they were going to put the floors in the next day. And that took them 2 weeks to finish the floors. And then it was, what was the last update I read that was ridiculous? Oh, 22 days ago, they finished the solar install, and the solar's not turned on yet. Different company, but might as well be the same company. And what else was the thing? Oh, we ordered granite countertops a month ago because those had to be put in right after the cabinets went in. So that's been a month. It's been really frustrating. So this is now 8 minutes long. I'm going to stop talking. I just am a little bit flabbergasted today that I'm here doing little small things, but I'm just basically trying to chip away at my small tasks for when we do get to move in. There's less to do, but honestly, if John's not coming, I'm going to stop all these tasks because they're way easier to do. Like I'm going to hang the TV tonight, the TV stand, but I really need to measure it from where the couch is and sitting eye level to the center of the television. So I'm kind of making guesses, but I really shouldn't mount it, but it's going to be an hour of work to mount this TV. And that's an hour that cuts into my unpacking if I don't get moved in until next Friday, which is 24 hours before he arrives. So I'm just, I'm feeling it, guys. I'm really feeling the pressure here. And my contractor is, I am a project manager as a living. I do that as a living. I've done that for 6 years now. And if I came 14 to 15% over budget, well, I think he's probably 30% over budget. If I came 10% over budget on a project and I was 200% late on the project, so instead of a 3 months deadline, it's 6 months, so double, I would be fired from my job. And yet this guy is allowed to just willy-nilly make promises and not come through on them and charge us more than we wanted him to. It has been a really crappy time doing this. So I can definitely see the appeal of why people will buy these foreclosures and fix them up and then flip them, because it really is a lot of stress to do this. The only reason I care enough about this whole situation is because it's a home that I'm building for myself. If it was just to flip, I would have been done with that hobby a long time ago, because this is really a pain in the ass. So it is late. Well, it's 5:45. I'm gonna go finish this up and try to get home by 8. Been here since 3. But that's the update. So I know there's not much concrete here, but stuff is happening. It's just one guy coming here part-time and then leaving, and I have to, there's 8 working days left in the week, and working days left before the 10th, and I don't think we're going to finish in 8 working days. I don't see it, and no one seems to care about me.